A lot of black people are told the same lie. Work hard, stay responsible, keep going, and one day, retirement will take care of itself. But for a lot of families, that day never seems to come. Not because they were lazy, not because they never tried, but because too much money had to go to survival, family, debt, housing, health, and starting from behind. So retirement never became a finish line. It became something people hoped for, but never fully believed they could reach. And that is exactly why we need to talk about how to escape it. There is a painful truth a lot of people do not say out loud. For many black families, retirement does not feel normal. It feels distant. It feels uncertain. It feels like something for other people. And if we're being honest, a lot of folks do not picture retirement as peace. They picture working longer, needing Social Security to do everything, still helping grown children, still paying bills, still trying to stretch money in old age the same way they stretched it in middle age. That is not just sad, that is exhausting. Because after a lifetime of working, nobody wants to feel like they still cannot sit down. And the worst part is, many people blame themselves for this. They think, maybe I didn't save enough. Maybe I started too late. Maybe I made too many mistakes. And yes, personal choices matter, but this problem is bigger than personal choices. A lot of black families cannot retire comfortably because the financial ground underneath them was weak long before retirement age ever showed up. That is where we have to begin. Part 1. Why it happens. The first reason is simple. A lot of black families spend too many years trying to survive instead of getting years to build. That changes everything. If most of your early and middle adult life is spent catching up, cleaning up, helping others, paying high bills, and recovering from financial hits, then retirement saving keeps getting pushed back. Not because it is unimportant, but because the emergency in front of you feels louder than the future. And that is how people wake up at 55 or 60 and realize they spent decades handling life, but never got to really prepare for later. That is not irresponsibility. That is what happens when survival keeps eating the years that were supposed to be used for building. The second reason is the wealth gap. Income matters, but wealth matters more. A person can earn a decent income and still have very little cushion if they don't have paid-off assets, inheritance, strong savings, investments, or home equity they can actually rely on. A lot of black families were not handed those starting points. That means retirement often has to be built from current income instead of supported by family wealth, property, or investment assets that were already there. So now, one generation is being asked to pay current bills, support extended family, recover from old financial harm, and somehow build retirement at the same time. That is a heavy load. The third reason is debt. Debt quietly destroys retirement. It delays saving, it keeps people working longer, it turns income into payments instead of progress. And here's what makes this especially dangerous. A lot of people normalize debt because they've been carrying it for so long. Credit cards, car notes, student loans, personal loans, medical debt, buy now, pay later habits. Minimum payments become normal. And when that happens, retirement money keeps getting sacrificed to the present. That is how someone can work for decades and still feel like their money never got ahead of their life. The fourth reason is family pressure. This one is real. A lot of black earners do not just manage their own bills. They help parents, they help children, they help siblings, they help relatives who call when something goes wrong. That help often comes from love, loyalty, and community. But over time, it can quietly steal from retirement. Because if every season of your life requires rescuing other people, then your own future keeps getting postponed. And the person who looks the strongest in the family often becomes the one whose retirement gets drained the most. That hurts, because it means the responsible person can end up old, tired, and still financially stretched. The fifth reason is health. A lot of people assume they will work until some clean retirement age. But life does not always cooperate. Bodies get tired, health problems show up, caregiving responsibilities appear. People get forced out of work earlier than planned. That is what makes weak retirement preparation so dangerous. If retirement comes early because of health instead of choice, the money gap becomes even more painful. And then there's one more hard truth. A lot of people think Social Security will do more than it can actually do. It helps, it matters, it is important, but it was never designed to carry an entire retirement by itself. So if someone reaches retirement with low savings, high debt, weak assets, and full dependence on one monthly check, that is not retirement security, that is retirement fragility, and that is where fear starts. What this feels like in real life. This problem is not just numbers, it has a feeling. It feels like watching the years move faster than the money. It feels like finally earning more, but never enough to get truly ahead. It feels like wanting rest, but not trusting the math. It feels like hearing the word retirement and thinking, that sounds nice, but that is probably not for me. That belief is dangerous, because once people stop believing retirement is possible, they stop building toward it seriously. They save later, they invest less, they avoid looking at the numbers. They tell themselves they will figure it out somehow, and somehow becomes the plan. But somehow is not a strategy. Hope is powerful, but hope without structure leaves people exposed. How to escape. Now here's the good part. Even if the system has been unfair, and even if someone started late, there is still a way forward. Not an easy fantasy, a real path. The first step is to stop treating retirement like a luxury topic. It is not extra. It is not something to think about after everything else is perfect. It is one of the main bills of adulthood. That mindset shift matters because the moment retirement becomes non-optional in your mind, your money decisions start changing. Now the question is not, do I save if I have something left? Now the question becomes, how do I make sure something is always left? That is a different life. The second step is to build protection before trying to build speed. That means getting some emergency savings in place. Not because that money is retirement money, but because without a cushion, retirement money keeps getting interrupted. Every flat tire, every medical surprise, every repair, every emergency, it keeps pulling from whatever savings exists. That's why a small emergency fund is not separate from retirement. It protects retirement. The third step is to attack high-interest debt hard. A lot of people want to invest more, but their debt is quietly beating their progress every month. If your credit cards are eating you alive, retirement is being delayed in the background whether you look at it or not. So part of escaping this trap is getting serious about cutting down the debt that steals from your future. The fourth step is to automate retirement. This matters more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Automation stays. If your job offers a retirement plan, use it, especially if there is a match. If it does not, use an IRA. If you already started, increase it when you can. Not dramatically if you cannot, just steadily. A little more when income rises, a little more when bills drop, a little more when debt shrinks. That is how real retirement money gets built, not in one heroic moment, in repeated, ordinary moments. The fifth step is to stop upgrading life every time income goes up. This one is huge. A lot of retirement gets destroyed by lifestyle inflation. New raise, new bills, new car note, new rent, new pressure. And now the extra income that could have bought future peace got turned into current appearance. That is why people can make more money and still end up owed with too little. If you want to retire, some of your raises have to go to freedom, not just lifestyle. The sixth step is to protect the home and the paperwork. Life insurance, beneficiaries, a will, titles, account access. This stuff is not exciting, but it matters. Retirement is not just about saving money, it's about making sure what you built stays useful and does not get lost, frozen, misdirected, or destroyed in a crisis. The seventh step is to have honest boundaries with family. This one is emotional, but necessary. You cannot save your future if your future stays open for emergency withdrawals every month. Helping people matters, but helping with no structure can quietly bankrupt the helper. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is help in a smaller, more sustainable way while still protecting your own old age. Because if you destroy your future to save everybody today, eventually everybody loses. The eighth step is to stop saying I'm behind and start saying I'm building. That shift matters. Shame makes people hide from money. Pride makes people work on it. You may have started late. You may not be where you want it to be. You may have made mistakes. Fine. But if you are building now, then now matters, and now is still powerful. Part 4. The real goal. The goal is not some flashy retirement fantasy. The goal is freedom. Freedom to rest. Freedom to choose lighter work instead of desperate work. Freedom to handle health issues without financial terror. Freedom to avoid becoming a burden because you had no time to prepare. Freedom to break the pattern for the next generation. That is what retirement should really mean. Not just, I stopped working, but I finally have options. And that's possible. Maybe not instantly, maybe not easily, maybe not without sacrifice, but possible. Because even if many Black families were not given a fair start, that does not mean the ending has to stay the same. The trap is real, but it's not destiny. You escape it by protecting money earlier, by keeping debt lower, by automating more, by upgrading slower, by setting boundaries, by building assets, by taking retirement seriously before old age forces the conversation. That is how escape begins.